Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of Tutorial Park. In today's episode I'm going to show you how to make another shoestring ride. The ride that I'm going to build today, the technical name for it is Sidecar XL, and it's a ride that you see pop up at more and more parks. It's a pretty fun ride to make. Now the real ride actually has cars that swing outwards and up. But with the vehicles that we are going to use, they don't have sprites for banking, so they're not going to do that. For this ride I will typically use either the motorbike vehicles, one of the steeplechase ride vehicles, or you could for example use vintage cars. Now you could also try any other cars, and you could even make the track banked if you want the vehicles to swing out. But in today's episode we're not going to make the vehicles swing out. Now to start off we'll want to build a station. I'm going to use the wild mouse track for this just because it's easy to build with. So first off we're going to build a station like this. We're gonna go up a little bit. I'm using chain lift here, that will make it easier for us. Yeah, we'll want to go to somewhere over here. And now we'll want to make a circular track. So as you can see, the circular track is a little bit above the station. Now first off we'll need to find out how many vehicles fit on a track. I kind of know the numbers for the motorbike vehicles, but yeah, if you use different vehicles on your trains it may be different. So I'm going to extend the track here a little bit. That allows us to spawn the vehicles here without us having to space them out manually again later. So I'll go for motorbike vehicles here. We'll make it one car or one train. And yeah, we'll have to figure out how many will fit on the track here. So I'm going to set the track to powered launch without passing station. I'll set the launch speed pretty high, 24 kilometers per hour, it's enough. I'll start with 12 cars per train, and I'm just going to check how many fit on this circular section of track. We'll need to build an entrance and exit, so let's quickly do that. By the way, you also need to have clearance checks disabled to be able to build this track like this in the first place, if you hadn't figured that out. Okay, looks like we can fit one extra vehicle on the track. So let's quickly give that a try. Okay, it looks like this is the perfect amount of vehicles. We'll need one extra vehicle to go on the shoestring track, which we will make below the ground. Okay, so 13 vehicles is what fits on the track, so we'll add one more vehicle. Okay, now we'll make our shoestring track below ground. I'll remove this track piece here. And I will just build downwards into the ground. I will use the cutaway view here, just so you're able to see what I'm building. So we're going down here, and I will make a sharp turn here, and we'll go underground a little bit more. I don't have to go really far underground, but I just like to go pretty far underground with my shoestring tracks, just so they're not interfering with any of the above ground rides. Now you can see I'm building the track here now, and this is usually where I stop building. So on this tile here there's a straight section of track. Okay, then I'm going to build another station here underground. I will build a new ride. It also helps if you select a different ride type. I like to use the wooden wild mouse. And I will build this station piece exactly under the station that's above ground. I will enable a chain lift here. So for that you may also need to enable the cheat allow chain lifts on all track pieces. And we'll build this straight track here through the other straight track, like so. Now before I continue building the control track, I will select this track piece here. So I have Tile Inspector open, I hold Control, I select this track piece. Now we'll need the vehicles to move from the steel wild mouse track to the wooden wild mouse track. So the wooden wild mouse track piece has to be under the steel wild mouse track piece. yeah, you'll have to do this on every shoestring that you do this way. It's very important, or else the rides will just fall off the track here the moment they reach this part. Now I will continue building the control track. And remember to have chain lift on. You could also do it with a powered vehicle, but with chain lift that just makes your life easier. Now, how long the ride takes to complete, that depends on the length of this control track. So the longer you make it, the longer the ride duration will be. Right, when you're done building this track, don't give it an entrance or an exit. Also make sure you don't put any chain lift on the station. So disable chain lift before you build the station. Alright, that part is now done, so I'm now going to reconnect this track piece. Now I will lower the ground here a little bit, just so it's easier to see what I'm doing. Here you can see the track piece leading downwards on the ground. Here you can see the above ground track. Now I'm going to spawn all the vehicles again, and I will select this piece with the tile inspector, hold control and select it. And yeah, on a track merge like this, or yeah, whatever you call it, the vehicles will follow the track piece that's lower in the list. So this part is up here, and this part is down here in the list. So when a vehicle arrives at this track piece, it can either go on one of these track pieces that connect to it, depending on the height in the list. So I'm going to put the ride in test mode, and as soon as the first vehicle has moved downwards here, I will shift the order of these two track pieces, and then the rest of the train should go on this top circular track. Now I will set the launch speed very low, and we have a chain lift here, so the vehicle should travel here by itself. Okay, I'm going to put the ride in test mode, and then I'll try to shift the order of the track pieces in time. To make it easier, you can also pause the game. So you can see this vehicle is going down. So now I'm going to switch the order of these two track pieces. So now the track piece leading down is above this track piece in the list. So now the rest of the train should go up. Okay, that should be enough for the functionality of the ride. Now, the way I built the ride, it will probably not get its stats calculated, because the stat calculation function is also just a train that's invisible that moves through the train, and here it would just end up on the infinite track and it will get stuck. So in order to allow for the ride to actually calculate its stats, I will just move this track piece down. You could also move it up. I will close the ride once and put it in test mode once again. So now the stat calculation function should just move to the end of the track here, and here it will be happy and it will calculate stats later. Okay, with that part of the ride done, now we'll have to decorate the ride, because right now it doesn't look very nice yet. So just going to restore the landscaping here. I'm going to lower the ground here a little bit. And that will allow us to make a nice platform here. Now, before I do any of this, let's make the entrance and exit of the ride visible again. Now, I'll move the entrance of the ride. So I'll just select this entrance, copy it, and I'll paste it here. That will allow me to make a queue that goes all around the ride. Now, the entrance is the wrong way around. You can always connect the path to the opening, to the door that's lower. So I'll rotate it. Now, since we have moved the entrance, we'll have to click this button, make usable. That will set this entrance to be the one that the ride uses. And I'll hold Control, select this entrance, and I'll remove it. Now, I will also move this exit a little bit. So I'll copy and paste it here, make usable, and then we can remove the old one. Let me quickly fix the path here. There we go. Okay, now I'm just going to make a queue that runs alongside the ride. So there's now also a cheat that allows you to select normal paths as queue paths. It's a really useful cheat. If you haven't found it yet, you can find under cheats, and then over here under the park icon there's allow using regular paths as queue. Very useful. Okay, now we can hide the entrance and exit if we want. Under the ride here I will make a little platform. I think I will just use these wooden planks. Okay, I've made a little platform here that kind of looks circular. And right now we could already test the ride. Now it's still a bit slow, the real ride is a bit faster. So if you unlock operating limits, then you can set the lift hill change speed a bit higher, and then the ride also runs faster. So normally these vehicles would swing outwards, but because of the vehicle type that we chose, it doesn't do that. If this track is banked and use different vehicles, then you could have your vehicles be banked. So yeah, that's definitely an option if you want your ride to look like that. Alright, I will change my ride to a ride type that is invisible. So if you select the cheat, allow arbitrary ride type changes, then you can change the ride type of your ride. So for this ride I will choose lift. And now we'll need to make a nice center for the ride. Now there's many objects you can choose for that. For now I will just go with some metal walls. Okay, this ride in reality has some arms keeping every vehicle down. And I found that the thing that looks closest like that is actually an enterprise without the platform. So we will just build an enterprise right here. I'll have to play a bit with the height of it. So for station style for the enterprise we'll select no entrance, no platform. And now we'll have to remove all these supports. The easiest way for that is to hold control and just select them. And then just lower every piece down. I have a hotkey set for moving these pieces down, so I will quickly move all of them below surface. Now remember to not do this when the ride is above water, because then all these track pieces will become very glitchy. So only do this when it's above land. Alright, all the support pieces have been made invisible. Now one thing you could still do in the ride vehicle editor is I will select the ride, I will go to vehicle 1 and I'll change the number of seats to 0. That way guests will not enter the vehicle that's below ground. It's just a minor little thing. Okay, I will now make a little fence around the ride. Alright, and now you could open the ride. Let me quickly give it a nice name. Now, the stats of this ride are pretty horrible because of this shoestringing thing. So I will go to the ride vehicle editor plugin. I will select the ride. We'll go to edit ride and we'll freeze the rating calculation. Now let's set the multiplier to 100 and let's raise its stats a little bit. You can really change the stats to however you like. Now the ride isn't too exciting, so I'll just keep these values average, so that guests are still more likely to head to more exciting rides like coasters. Alright, that's it. That's how you make one of these motorbike derby rides. Okay, I will just do some quick decoration around the ride and then I'll get back to you. Alright, I've just added some plants, some trees around the ride, and as some extra decoration I added this little t-shirt stall, which serves as the operator booth for the ride. Yeah, that's just another detail that you could add to the ride. And yeah, there you have it, your motorbike derby ride is completed. Alright, since the last video, which was several months ago, I've actually added a new Patreon tier to my Patreon channel. So I'm quickly going to give the patrons that are in the higher tier a nice color for that name. Alright, and to finish off this episode, I'm also going to once again add one of my patrons as an entertainer to this park. And this new patron will become a ride attendant for this new ride that we built today. Alright, Harika Takanashi, thank you so much for your support, and you will now be the ride attendant for this new motorbike derby ride. Alright, hope this tutorial is useful for you. I will soon be back with another ride tutorial. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, if it's useful for you, please consider hitting that like button. It really helps out my channel. And if you want to see more of these tutorials, you can always subscribe. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.